Hey y'all, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in another week. Um, Disclaimer, it's a bad hair week, okay? So mind your business. No, but seriously, today I wanted to talk about something that is very personal to me right now. So right now I'm going through a season, and I call it the waiting season because um I know that at the end of this, God has something more for me, right? Um, but within this period of time, um, I'm struggling because I'm doing the I'm doing the work, I'm praying, I'm fasting, um, I'm growing more I'm growing closer to God. Um, all of these things that I think that I'm doing right, but I have not yet received my breakthrough, right? So it's like, what am I missing? What is it that I'm supposed to be doing that I've not quite understood yet? Or what is it that I'm kind of overlooking um, in order to receive the next big thing that God has for me? And so this week, I've really been searching for that. I've really been trying to gain clarity. Lord, I can't talk today. I've been trying to gain clarity and understanding of what um, might be holding me back, because it's easy to sit and reflect and say, okay, God, I've done XYZ. I've done everything that I'm supposed to do externally to move forward. Or better yet, like, God, you promised me this, but why haven't I received it yet? Like, what am I not doing? Um, or why are you punishing me? And I'm doing all of these things. I'm praying and I'm fasting and I'm fasting and I'm praying and I'm talking to you. And I feel like my connection with you has grown closer. Why am I not receiving my breakthrough? Like, why am I still going through this? Why am I still struggling with this? And it was revealed to me this week, like, it's not necessarily the fact that what God has for you isn't ready. Okay. It's not necessarily that God is still working on that thing, because God does miracles. So it can happen overnight. Like, we're aware of that. It can very well happen overnight. But what we don't kind of understand or internalize is, you might be doing what you're doing on the outside, but have you done the work internally? There are things within you that I need you to recognize about yourself, um, that you need to change first in order to receive that next big thing. See, it's not necessarily about just receiving that next big thing. It's about changing who you are, changing your persona, becoming somebody totally different than who you used to be in order to receive that next big thing. Baby, that's a big deal. That's really a big deal. That constitutes a whole new era of spiritual growth. Um, Honestly, this is probably the first time I've ever experienced this level of spiritual maturity, because again, we always expecting God to do something for us, but when are we going to do something for ourselves? Like, oftentimes, it's easy to be uncomfortable within the current job that you're at. And so you're steadily applying for new jobs to move on, but then you come to realize that eventually you stumble upon this same scenario. You know what I'm saying? You get in this same rut Different job now, same rep, same discomfort, same displeasure. But what you don't realize is it necessarily the job or is it you? Is it necessarily, is it not necessarily the fact that what you don't realize is that you're looking for something in a job that's not fulfilling because it's not the job that you're supposed to be fulfilled by. God is trying to reveal to you, like, I've got you here because I need you to master certain things about yourself. I need you to be able to gain the skill set that this job has for you in order to help you be a better person for the thing that I do have for you next. Or another one, I keep bringing these same types of men to you because I need you to recognize your insecurities. I need you to recognize your poor communication skills. You asking for your husband, but you're not even paying attention to where you fall short in these relationships. You're not even paying attention to the type of people you're allowing to manipulate you and the types of things that you are allowing to occur because you don't see yourself as sufficient. You don't see yourself as worthy or good enough. Oftentimes, it's not about the fact that you've been filling out several applications, or it's not about the fact that, you know, you've been eating better or working out or things like that. You might be asking for more of something, but God is trying to tell you it's not about giving you more, it's not about supplying you more, it's about you becoming a better version of yourself. And honestly, that that gets real. Like it's real. It's real because again, I don't think I've ever experienced this type of waiting season. I don't think I've ever experienced a moment where I'm like, okay, I gotta do, I gotta change these habits about myself. It's not just about doing different, it's about being different, it's about being better, it's about becoming more Christ like for real. For real. It's about, you know, I I can think about something this week that I had to tell myself like, girl, stop putting yourself in them situations. Stop putting yourself in them predicaments just because that's what they're used to. When in turn, when you put yourself in that specific situation or that specific circumstance, you get irritated. You get a bad attitude. You don't want to do it for real. So why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Enabling somebody, being someone else's crutch is causing you discomfort. Or on the other hand, you have it, you have it to give, but why are you being selfish? God, like this next big thing I can't even give to you because you're selfish. And what I have for you, what's going to bless you, is going to also require you to bless my people. But I can't give it to you because you're selfish. So we gotta kind of stop considering, the fact that God isn't ready. Quite naturally, it's us. Like quite naturally, we're not doing, or we're not. Write it down. Write it down. Take this week to discover those things that aren't so great about you. Discover those things that are kind of holding you back, or discover those things that you notice are repetitive of yourself but kind of result in the same outcome. that you need to change about yourself, and write those things down. And on the other side, write down what you can do differently, how you can be different, what you can do better. Sometimes you gotta quiet your mouth and not gossip. Sometimes you gotta, instead of running to your friend and talking about what's going on in your relationship, you gotta be quiet and take it to God. Those little things that we often don't think about in order to receive that big thing. Like, that thing is part of the waiting season. And yes, again, it's been frustrating. I've gotten weary. There are days when I'm up and when I'm down, when I want to talk, when I don't want to talk. Like, when I'm good, when I'm not so great. I ain't gonna say it's bad. It ain't bad. It ain't bad because I know this season is necessary. I know this season is molding me into a better person, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful that I've recognized this about myself, and I'm actually able to check myself, because oftentimes that be part of the self work, the real work. Like, if you need therapy, go to therapy. If you need somebody to tell you about yourself because you can't tell yourself about yourself, or you don't see um you don't understand what God is trying to tell you, get another person, become part of a community that is able to show you parts of yourself that you can become better. Sometimes it takes that. Sometimes it requires that. Sometimes it requires you to isolate. It requires you to maneuver and kind of silence the noise. Um, you got to change your friend circle. You got to change the people that you're around on the daily. You got to get rid of those distractions. You got to stop smoking. You got to stop drinking. You got to stop partying. All of those things. It takes that. It takes that for real. But the bigger revelation is, when you feel like you're getting weary and you're getting tired, like the Bible says, they that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. So don't stop. Don't stop just because you haven't received it. Don't stop praying. Don't stop fasting. Don't stop thanking God for what you have, and what you're, are waiting on. Like, don't stop. Don't stop those conversations with God. Don't stop. Don't stop journaling, and this is not that season where you draw back. Don't draw back, because when you draw back, you're gonna have to start over, and you're gonna have to wait longer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a critical point in your life, but it's definitely necessary, and it has great value. Um, so kudos to you for doing the external work, but sometimes the real work is within yourself. And your next big thing is right behind that door. Once you reveal what's within you that you need to change, God is not trying to punish you. God is not trying to punish you. He wants you to reap the kingdom of heaven on earth. That was a prophecy to me about 2 years ago, baby. And I'm close. I'm close. But I know that it requires so much more than what I'm used to. It requires the internal work that I'm currently going through, and I feel good about it. I feel good about it. I feel good to know that after this, baby, I might be unrecognizable. Who I used to be, you're not gonna see again, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So stay encouraged, and know that this waiting season It's only for a moment, but what's behind it, the person that you're going to become, what you're going to receive from God, and just the overall connection with God is the best thing that you can do for yourself. So, read your Bible, continue to pray, continue to fast. Your big thing is on the way.